Good morning. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. Give me just 5 seconds. This is the self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve the problems and challenges in my life, as well as a self-improvement process for me to reach the goals and ambitions that I've set for myself. So welcome, wherever you're from. Bonjour, annyeonghaseyo, ni hao, wherever you're coming from. We have two live streams today, and the first live stream, as you take a look in the title, has to do with travel. So local exploration, I've named it. You see the photographs. What you see is what you get. In the photographs, it shows some places, some business plazas that are nearby where I sort of work, in a very, I guess, close-knit region. So we're going to be talking about that's the kind of stuff that's transpired over the past 2 weeks of hell. Actually the whole month I mentioned. If you take a look at my live streams yesterday, I talked about that, but that's the first stream today. Okay, we'll be covering some travel, local travel, as well as some stuff because it's around my workplace, as well as some treats I received from a co-worker, a colleague of mine. So that's what's the first live stream. And the second live stream today, which is, immediately after this one, is just going to be about more travel. It's more continuation, but has more to do with yesterday's travel. So yesterday I had to explore my area once again even further around my workplace, because I was taking these new supplements that I want to talk about in the upcoming week or so. And I actually have some samples to show to camera right here. So what you see is what you get. Like I said, there's nothing, it's not clickbait, anything like that. That's exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to talk about that in the second live stream. So brief introduction as usual. If you're new to this, again, wherever you're from, Facebook, YouTube, that Korean platform, Africa TV, this is a live stream, whichever platform and whichever country you're coming from. This is the Ahn Rho Project, self-therapeutic process, self-improvement project. It has many sub-series, such as the 1000 Days Till Death, where I assume that I'm going to drop dead at the age of 30. So if I asked you had 100 hours left in your lifespan, how would you spend those 100 hours? That's roughly 4 days, so that you could die without regrets. So that's just a way to spur me into working with the priorities in mind. And my analogy to that would be I have 1,000 days. I have 1,000 days, so basically 3 years before I hit 30 years old, and I assume that I drop dead, if not sooner. And then there's another sub-series aside from 1,000 Days Till Death that I work on frequently. That's the item catalog sub-series, and that's just, business, inventory, shipping, covering every object that comes in and out of my life, including food and clothing and materials and stuff like that. So those are two main sub-series. There's a new one blossoming that has to do with trying to save the life of my caregiver, in a sense, or at least reduce the amount of pain she experiences before she may or may not pass away. I don't know how her health condition's faring so well so far. So there's a lot of different sub-series, and this is really just as a whole, in addition to the little segments like finance, relationships, money, interests and hobbies, stuff like that. The hundreds of variables, the hundreds of different fields and disciplines, these are all part of life, and the Ahn Rho Project as a whole is really this time record to capture my entire life. So we're going to start off, so that's the introduction. So that was a bit long-winded. Again, I'm just going to practice and narrow it down. So the first live stream today, where we said we're going to cover travel. So I don't have too much to show to the camera because of this. Everything you want to see is in the photographs, so I want to talk about that. You see 3 photographs on, I believe your left is my right is your left. There's 2 photographs there that have to do with what you see is like this sort of business plaza. There's not much to say about it. It's like a parking lot. I think it's on this side of the camera, I'm not sure. But there's also this greenery that's, that was me taking a photograph basically around a business district that was maybe just 2 or 3 blocks down the road from where I work. And what happened was, obviously, over this past 2 weeks, I mentioned in my previous live streams that I've just been eating pretty much junk. Like, it's like coffee and donuts kind of stuff, or a breakfast sandwich from Tim Hortons, and that's a Canadian just coffee donut shop. So that was my breakfast for the morning. And so what happened is I would just have to find a place, and it's getting colder, but I had to find a place to sit down and eat. And so I couldn't do that at my workplace. There are some issues with that there that I can't mention right now, or I can mention, but I don't. But for time constraints, I won't be able to. So long story short, I was searching and exploring places to sit down on the curb. Maybe not the curb. I know it is really ghetto of me, but I mean that's my life. That's what my life is like. So I would take a look around the business district and just see like a empty parking lot in the morning. That sounds really welfare, right? But that's me. That's what I'm doing. That's how my whole life has been, just growing up and shit. So, but I found a place. I sat down and I took some photographs. So that's what it was. So that's that greenery spot there, just sitting on the ledge, staring onto the parking lot in the middle of the morning, maybe about 8:30. I was a little bit late for work that day. I was supposed to usually arrive at around 7, but a week of hell. Again, my previous live streams on Twitch, Periscope, you'll see I've talked about that yesterday. So those are the two photographs. On below those two photographs, I believe it's this little Lindt photograph of Lindt chocolate. So that one is included because my colleague gave me some Lindt chocolate after she came back from vacation yesterday. So just covering on the same topic of work and employment, this is my colleague, my coworker, who pretty much manages the administrative stuff in my department. And so we are constantly in touch. I manage all the logistics, so all the physical labor, moving all the shipping and the skids around, and she manages sorry. And she manages, that's the alarm. Yeah, quick interruption. But anyways, and then she manages the office, right? She manages how the inventory is put inside the system, the database. And again, I work in a company that manufactures protective equipment and safety supplies. So that's a lot. That's very relevant to today's current pandemic situation. But even before then, we were doing this stuff already. So that's basically what she gave me, and I just wanted to show some appreciation and put those two Lindt chocolate up there. I have to admit I wasn't too happy yesterday. I was incredibly stressed. It was just a really busy day, but it was nice of her, and I decided to show that. So two class 4 items, sorry, from my colleague, and I've shown that. And finally, the last thing on this first of two streams, the photographs on my left hand side or your right. We're going to continue on that tangent into the second live stream of today, but basically those two photographs are of this place I explored just yesterday. It's like there's a little nook and cranny. So the photographs on the right hand side, or my right hand side, on your left, it's kind of like where, right? I'm trying to coordinate myself, but the ones on this side are basically from like further down south of my workplace, and the ones on this side here are like it's a business district that's up north. And long story short, there's this banking institution up there. I'm not going to say which one, but I took a few photographs of that area because what happened yesterday, and I'll elaborate on this a little bit more in my second live stream, is that I needed to take some supplements. I didn't need to. I just wanted to test out some experiment with some supplements, but at the same time, I know that intestinal absorption of these nutrients is best when I eat something. I didn't have anything to eat yesterday. I didn't have any. Like, again, the week is still like everything that's dragged on for the past month is still holding me back. Yeah, I still have to cover a lot of stuff, and I wasn't able to make lunch, so I had to purchase something again from Tim Hortons, and so I found a Tim Hortons nearby. And this is a new one that I hadn't seen. So we're going to talk about that in the second live stream. But that's what's in the two photographs on this side here. I just thought they were, on the topic of exploration, will include those photographs. So this is the first of 2 live streams. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue off in the second live stream immediately after this one ends, which is, maybe about 90 seconds. So I'll see you there when we cover the food that I guess I purchased yesterday at Tim Hortons, as well as the supplements, as well as some food here on that topic I'm having today, in addition to the supplements once again. So, and of course, exploration. So it's just a lot of different topics covering in these 2 live streams today that just fell into place. And I'll see you there right here on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're coming from. This is Ahn Rho, 90 seconds. Catch you all there.